We have a couple of developments on the coaching front. I put out the tweet last night that there will be changes. We're going to see what's going to happen over the next couple of days. But out of Calgary, something we talked about, I guess, a couple of weeks ago, but Marc Savard and the Flames mutually agreed to part ways when it came to the last 2 years of his contract there.
Yeah, there was some buzz before that happened that he may come to Toronto, and that stuff happens all the time. But it seemed like there was some actuality to it, and now that that's come out, I feel like things are falling in place for him to come to Toronto. I don't have an opinion on it. I know that the power play in Calgary wasn't awesome, but that place has kind of been a dumpster fire since Huberdeau came in and didn't perform, and they seem to be selling off and doing a rebuild. So you can't put too much stock into that. But, he had it going with Craig Berube in St. Louis. He was running that power play, and I think it had quite a bit of success. We talked to Schenner, off the record, and he said, no, our peeper was pretty solid there under him. So if he does, in fact, come in, you hope that he changes something or knows what to do with that power play. Guy Boucher, had a pretty sterling record as a head coach in a lot of ways, a lot of experience with the Lightning as a head, and for whatever reason, that power play was absolutely abysmal. Ultimately, it's on the players, but hopefully some new kind of invention or new look at it could get that power play going, because let's face it, the Leafs could potentially have just finished or still be playing if they had their power play anywhere near where the other teams do. And their 4.6% or whatever it is just absolutely mind-meltingly shocking to think that group had that kind of a power play.
Oh, it's very well put. I will say, too, where there's smoke, there's fire. I can't remember the last time two sides mutually agreed to part ways. Like, there's got to be another move coming. I tried to track down, and try to get it confirmed last night. Everybody's denying it. I think it's going to happen. Marc Savard's a local guy. It just would make too much sense. I did a bit of digging, and I have to credit the Locked on Leafs podcast, my boys Mike and Dave, for the statistics. But the numbers on Marc Savard, you interested in hearing them when it comes to the power play?
Sure.
So 1920, as we referenced, with St. Louis, 23.7%, pretty damn good. Then he coached 2 years in the OHL with Windsor, 26.1%, 25.9%. Then this year, one lone season with Calgary pre-March 1st, so they were just dreadful, 14.3%. And then in garbage time, post-March 1st, 27.1%. But you can speak to the magnitude of, like, the importance of an assistant coach on a bench.
Yeah, by no means is it as important as the head coach. I mean, that is the voice and the mentality and everything that goes with the team. But, those assistant coaches, especially with the power play, and, I obviously wasn't a power play guy, but they're out there having their little meetings with their 5 or 10 guys, first unit, second unit, whatever, going over things on the fresh sheet before practice. They go into the video room and they're watching clips on how this team kills and how our power plays working. And, you have this kind of intimate relationship with the assistant coach, especially when you're on the power play and you're breaking things down and you're thinking of new ways. And, I think a good coach would talk to the players and what are you feeling out there? What are you seeing? What would you like it to be? What frustrates you? What's open there? How are you feeling with this guy? Where do you want him to be? And, you're kind of the captain of the ship that's letting, the guys go around and figure their things out. And if you can all get on the same page and find things that are clicking and be a good guy on video and be able to present ideas and, critiques to the team in a way that they're going to take to it, that's pretty important. So by no means is it as important as the head coaching position, but especially with those power play guys, you kind of have that relationship that can be important to a team when, you're struggling or not struggling on the peeper.
And to keep in mind here, too, are the relationships. So Craig Berube comes in. I don't want to say it's a foregone conclusion, but I wouldn't be shocked if your former teammate Mike Van Ryn stays on the coaching staff. Marc Savard's got that relationship as well with Craig Berube from St. Louis. You start to connect the dots. It makes a lot of sense, right?
Yeah, it does. I think, just if if you were to start a new podcast or whatever, and you just pick who you want to work with, you're going to go with people that you know you have a good rapport with and camaraderie, and you're on the same page and you think the same way. So obviously it makes sense to bring in people that that you've had success with, that you say, I know this guy and how he thinks, and I think he is going to bring something positive to the table here to work with in this new city. And I would not be shocked if Craig Berube did that.
Make sure to check out more of our content right here on the Leafs Nation YouTube page. We got long form interviews, we got clips, we got epic rants by Jay Rosehill. We simply have it all. And don't forget, you can find out much more at theleafsnation.com. Thanks so much for watching.